Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to talk to you about the books that I have my physical TBR that I find a bit intimidating. Hear me out. I don't mean intimidating because of its size, even though sometimes it's definitely a factor to take into account, but overall there's something about these books that I'm just like, I'm not ready to read them. Even though, maybe because I'm not smart enough, maybe because it's just too much. I don't know. But let me show them to you. So this first one, I know when I'm scared of reading it, but this is the Discord of Gods. I talked about this one on my media freakout tag, and I've heard from people that I really trust that it's actually good. But I'm so scared that it's going to be bad because I just really didn't like book 4 on this series, and this is the final one. My favorite book is still the first one, The Ruin of Kings. So I don't know, but I'm just super scared to pick this one up, even though I just really want to because it's the last one and this arc is so good in general. I'm just super scared. I have this feeling that it might be just like one of my new favorite books, or it might be awful. I don't know, I just can't get past it, but I'll try. And I'll see if I can actually just like manage to read it soon at least. So hear me out. I have this weird thing where I buy a book and I'm not 100% sure if it's fantasy, historical fantasy, or historical fiction. And I don't like historical fiction. I'm kind of okay with historical fantasy, but I want fantasy. So my problem is sometimes I get a book and I'm not sure if there's going to be just like magic or magical creatures in it. It happens to me with the Sword of Kagan. I don't know if I've ever said this, but when I first bought it, I thought it was going to be historical fiction, and it took me a while to get into it. And then I just rewatched some reviews and they were just like, yeah, the magic system is so cool. And I was like, okay, it does have magic. And then that's when I ended up loving it, basically. But the same thing is happening to me with this book, The Wolf by Leo Carew. The thing is, I do think that it has magic, but I don't know how much prominent is it? Like, is it just going to be like a little snippet? Is it going to be everywhere? I don't know. And for that fact alone, I'm scared to read it. I don't know, it's so, I know, it's so stupid, but I just cannot help it. I just cannot help it. I just have like this fear of being let down by the book because some part of me really thinks that I'm going to like it based on the reviews that I've heard. But at the same time, just like, is this like really historical fantasy? Is it going to be a good historical fantasy? Is it actually just fantasy and I'm making this thing up? Freaks me the hell out. I don't know why it is. I have no clue, but it just, I don't know why. I just don't know why. Then this is interesting. I just love the complicated sci-fi, okay? The more complicated, the better for me. I just, when it's just like super convoluted, obviously there's too much sometimes. Like sometimes it's just like, you're doing this for nothing. But I'm a little bit afraid of this book. This is a Spanish science fiction book, and literally the synopsis says nothing about it. So I'm just like, what? But at the same time, I've heard that this is, oh my god, what's this subgenre called? Similar to like Children of Time. Like where you have like intelligent, not animals, but insects and such. So I'm scared because that could be just like fantastic or terrible. But I bought it and I'm just like really excited to read it and also very afraid to. Because I feel like I might not understand it. I don't know. It's a really weird feeling, but I'm just like, am I like smart enough to read this book? I don't know. But should I? Should I just read it this month? Like, and also like the synopsis, it's just, it goes around like this. It's so fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. Please, if any of my like Spanish viewers have read this, just let me know, please. This is complicated. This is the Dragonbone Chair by Tad Williams. I'm scared of this book because of 2 reasons mainly. The first one, size. Like what? It's ginormous. And the second one is Tad Williams is such a well-known author and his fantasy is just like super well-known that I'm scared for not getting it. Like, I don't know, but he's in general so well known. I just really want to read it, but I find the author very intimidating in general. I don't know why, because I'm usually just like, yeah, let's try it. It's going to be great. But it's just not the case with this one. I was really excited to read it last year, but now I'm just scared of it. And every time that I see it, I'm just like, okay, I'm scared. So I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you have read his works before. Please just let me know how it went. I just really want to know, but I'm just so intimidated by the name alone. The same thing with The Obelisk Gate by N.K. Jemisin. I really like the 5th season, but I find it quite confusing. I think that it's because I actually read it in Spanish, and the second person narration does not translate well into Spanish. I don't know, but it happened the same to me with You. It just does not have the same like vibe to it. It's weird. So I had to switch in the middle of it to the audiobook, and it was such a fucking mess. So my brain was a little bit fried at the end. My mom tried to read it. She was just not into it. But everyone says that it's so good that I'm just super scared to read the rest of the trilogy. Like, I mean, I really want to read it. Like, I think I'm going to really like it. But at the same time, I'm super scared. Like, I just do not want to be one of those people that does not like this. Because I haven't had much luck. I haven't had much luck with her older series. I tried to read both the Dreamblood duology and the Inheritance trilogy. I started both. I DNF'd them, like soft DNF. I will pick them in the future. But I did really like The City We Became. That was my favorite by her. But I don't know. I'm scared with this series. Like, I know it's good. I know it's good. Everyone says that it's good. But what if I don't like it? What if I don't like it? I'm just so scared of that. Then I have here AScendant's Rite by David Hare. This is the last book in the Moontide Quartet. And hear me out. All of the books are ginormous, but they are super easy to read. The writing style is great. This author just has the greatest writing style. It's just so easy to follow. I don't know, but the books feel super short in comparison with their real size. But here's the thing. I loved book 1 and 2 in the series, especially book 2. I think is one of the best like fantasy books that I've read, like gigantic fantasy stories. But book 3 was so bad. It was like my greatest disappointment, not for last year, for 2 years ago. Since then, I have not picked this series up because I just do not want to hate this series, because I really love the first 2 books. But book 3 was fucking terrible. Like, the most unnecessary book that I've read. So many unnecessary like fucking sex scenes. It was literally just like a fucking sex scene, like a gigantic sex scene. The whole book. Ugh. I didn't like the plot. Barely advances, and I don't know, I just really disliked book 3. So I'm very scared to read book 4. I've heard that it's better than book 3, but not as good as book 2. So I'm scared. But I also really want to read this because I want to go to the next trilogy that is set in the same world, the Sunsearch trilogy. So I should read it soon. Then this is purely because it cites, honestly, but this is XX by Ryan Hughes. And the thing is, this is a mixed media book. Let me show you. It has a lot of shit in there, okay? Like, it's cool. I love mixed media books. But because of that, it also means that it doesn't have an audiobook. So I have to go through this on my own. And I already tried to read this book when I bought it a year ago, and I made it to like page 200. But because it's so dense, I never picked it up again because I needed my brain to read this. And I was about to get into a slump, so I stopped. But man, it's just, there's something about it that I feel like it's just too much for my brain to comprehend. I don't know, but I really actually want to read this one. I love the mixed media format. Like, it's just like my favorite thing. Every time that I see a book that has mixed media elements, I'm sold. I'm sold. Then, another intimidating one. This is A Dark Queen Rises. This is book 2 after Upon a Burning Throne. The thing is, this was supposed to be a 5-book long series, and now it's been chopped into a trilogy, if I remember correctly. So I'm very scared after reading book 1 and really, really liking it, that because of that chop, that cut, It's going to be very sloppy and I'm super scared about it. Book 3 is coming out very soon if I'm not mistaken, but I don't know. What if it's bad? I just hate it when we see this a lot on TV shows when yeah, we're canceling it. I don't want like an open ending. I don't know. I'm just scared because I really liked book 1. Also, I had to buy this second one in paperback because the hardcover was non-existent. And I have the first one in fucking hardcover, and it's also annoying as hell. But I don't know, there's something about this that scares me the fuck off. And I don't want it to just spoil how much I really like book 1. So, I don't know. So, second to last, I have The Monster by Cormorant by Seth Dickinson. I love The Traitor by Cormorant, which is book 1. I read it twice, but for some reason, it's a very political and economic heavy type of fantasy. It's super heavy in those aspects. So you really need a little bit of your brain power to follow it through and to remember everything. And I'm just super scared to not be able to remember everything going into book 2. So I've been postponing it constantly. And I feel like I'm not smart enough to continue with this story for some reason, even though book 4, I believe, is coming out this year or next year. And it's going to be the end of the series. I don't know. I just feel like I'm not smart enough for this series. But I just really like book 1. It's also a very divisive book. Like, a lot of people hate it. A lot of people love it. It's just very weird. It deals with a lot of topics. It's complicated, but I just really like book 1. But I don't feel like I'm good enough for book 2. And the last one that I have here is Illborn. And hear me out. Look at this. It's ginormous. It's just so big. And the writing is so small. I think this is going to be a mess. But the thing is, it intimidates me a lot, not because of its size, but because everyone that has read this book has loved it. And love it with a passion. I don't mean like, oh, I enjoyed it. No. They loved it. So I want to be part of that club so badly. I want so badly to be part of that community and be just in love with this book that I'm just scared of not loving it enough. So I've been postponing reading it for like, I don't know, several months already. But I don't know, I feel like I'm going to really like this, but the fact that everyone loves this just like so unanimously, it scares me the fuck up. I don't know why, but I just really want to be a part of this. So I'm so scared. So yeah, those were basically all my intimidating books that I have currently like near me. Like I'm sure that there are more, but what is that book that you're always just like, I want to read it, but I'm a bit scared. What is that book for you? Please just let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.